all my favorite audiences at Glacier Hills. Here's a warm holiday welcome from Mr. Karapetyan Klaus. And I'll be presenting a program of Christmas carols, New Year's songs, and classical music and non-classical music, and hope you'll like it all. There will be pieces coming from different countries, and they'll come with different stories, of course. And hope you will like the stories and the music equally. Let's do this. Here's a piece by Niccolo Paganini, the king of the violinists, the great Italian. He was born in 1782 and died in 1840. Lived through this turmoil, this quite an interesting era in European history with the French Revolution and the Industrial Revolution in Europe. A lot of things changing. He himself was kind of a rock star, kind of a revolutionary in violin and in the music world in general. Before Paganini, only the singers, the star singers, would get the center of the stage. They were, admired and were like stars. Paganini was, I think, really the first instrumentalist who gained that incredible status. He had two loves. One was the violin, the other one was gambling, unfortunately. He gambled a lot away. He even, at some point, he was said to have gambled his violin away a day before the concert. I won't go in there. There's a lot of stories about him. He was known for writing and composing and performing pieces just on one string of the violin. It was kind of a little gimmick, like a little trick that he was doing. The story goes that once he was on stage and one string broke, and then the other one broke, and then the third one broke, and there was finally just one, the thickest string, the G left on the string, and he kept on playing and didn't stop. It looks like there was a case when a string broke, or maybe two strings, definitely not three. Yeah, because the bridge would hardly stay on the violin with just one string. And he kept on playing. But it's quite possible that Paganini had composed a piece specifically for that one string. And then he maybe cut the string so they would break during a performance and create that incredible sensation. reading his biography, this kind of a thing was not really above him. Yeah. Uh, I'm not trying to say bad things about Nicola Paganini here, but it was common for artists, entertainers to do this, to pull this kind of tricks to impress the audience. So it really wasn't a shameful thing in his time. Whether he did it or didn't, he was indeed the greatest violinist of his time, played so incredibly well that people didn't believe he was a human. So they would say, oh, he probably made a deal with the Satan, with the devil. He sold his soul to the Satan for that incredible skills on the violin. And there were even more legends and anecdotes about that, but we don't have the time for that. So let's go on to a piece by Paganini. It's called Cantabile. Here is a piece by George Frederick Handel, the great, well, German composer who lived in England, so sometimes the English claim him to be theirs. He was an English citizen after all. Handel was one of the greatest composers of all times and definitely one of the 2 or 3 greatest names in the Baroque era. He composed mostly oratorios and operas, but he also wrote more intimate pieces like sonatas for instruments, different instruments. Uh, at least 5 for violins that we know authentically are his, because there were a lot of other sonatas that looks like were written by someone else, but then printed under his name. Let's not go in there. One of his sonatas, the very last one, has an opening movement like this. It starts like this. Has a very spacious, kind of this very, very interesting opening that is not quite usual for his time. And he used this opening in at least 2 or 3 more times during his life. First time when he was only when he was a teenager, and last time when he was writing this sonata that I'm gonna play. I will play the first movement of it solo. I don't have an accompanist right now in my basement, so it'll be the solo version of this. Here is the opening movement from Handel's sonata, and as we know, Handel is known quite a bit for his Messiah, which is a piece that's performed around Christmas. No Messiah today, I'm all alone, so here is the sonata. Now, I know Thanksgiving has passed already, but I didn't get to play for you guys on Thanksgiving. And so since this is a holiday season, I'm just going to put it all in one place. I would like to play a little Thanksgiving hymn for you. So, two pieces by Johann Sebastian Bach. It's a bit difficult to be recording a full-scale program being a solo violinist and not play Bach, and who doesn't want some really incredibly, well-written music for violin. Johann Sebastian Bach was a violinist himself. Well, he was first and foremost a keyboard player, of course, but he played the violin very well. In fact, I think one of his first jobs, I believe in Weimar, was a string player in the local orchestra, in the church orchestra, I think. I'm going to play two pieces from his very last work for violin. There are 6 of them, 3 sonatas and 3 partitas. So I'm going to play the Preludium and the Gavotte from the 3rd partita. And the 3rd partita is the happiest of all 6 works. Bach was writing these pieces under very tragic conditions, I would say. He composed the entire cycle shortly after the death of his first wife, Maria Barbara. And he was much affected by her death, and there are even some allusions to her death there in some of the earlier pieces, or at least to his own grief. But then, as he keeps writing, it seems like he heals himself from his grief through his music. It's an incredible transformation to get to the last piece, and it has this incredible sunshine, this beautiful, very, I guess, optimistic mood compared to the others. So I'll play the Preludium, which is the opening movement, and then I'll play another movement called the Gavotte. You might actually recognize both of them. Well, time for a few Christmas carols. Here is a beautiful medley of Christmas tunes. Merry Christmas. Well, a couple Irish melodies to just spice up the program a little bit. There's a beautiful ballad called "The Heart Is True." Let me read a little bit from here. Let's see. The heart is true. It says, um, "Our ship is ready to bear away. Come, comrades, over the stormy sea. Here, snow white wings they are unfurled, and soon shall swim in a watery world. Ah, do not forget love, do not grieve. The heart is true and can't deceive. My heart and hands, with you I'll leave. Fare thee well, true love, remember me." And there are a few more verses. Of course, I can't read all of them for time's sake, but a very beautiful, very soulful tune. And then I'll follow that up with jig called The Road to Listonburn. Well, for the audience members who have Jewish heritage, I would like to present a tune for you. Now, I know that Hanukkah is it's not the Jewish Christmas, and in fact, I was told that it's not even such a big deal among all the Jewish holidays. But I do want to present. I want to play one tune for you. It's not a Hanukkah tune. It's just an old Yiddish song that you all probably know and hopefully will enjoy. It's called Tum Balalaika. It's a beautiful tune. Balalaika is that it's a Russian folk instrument. Has a triangular shape, and you play with just strumming the strings like this. Now, on the violin, you usually don't do this, but I've come up with a technique with a thumb that allows me to imitate the balalaika. And the tune has a very beautiful story of I believe it's about a young girl asking a young man who is in love with her, or giving him riddles, and if he solves the riddles, then she will choose him as her husband. And it's a very very gentle, very moving song actually. I don't sing it. I'm just going to play and improvise a little bit on it. Here we go. How about a couple of oldies? Beautiful old melodies that you'll probably recognize. Um, the first one is from a movie called The Seven Hills of Rome that featured a great singer and actor, Mario Lanza. You probably know that name well. Um, Originally, the movie was to be called Arrivederci Roma, which means goodbye Rome. And that's the title of the song I'm going to play. But then when it was screened in the States, they decided to change the title to Seven Hills of Rome. So I'll play that tune first. And then one of your old favorites, short but very cute, You Are My Sunshine. Well, here is a favorite English tune. It's an old song that goes back to, I think, late 1500s. What Child Is This? Or known better for its original title, Greensleeves. Well, how about a canon, or actually two of them, by Georg Philipp Telemann, a German composer, Baroque composer, who wrote a lot of them. A canon. What is a canon? Row, row, row your boat. You know that. You know how a few people can start at different times and still match together. So imagine something like that, but much more complicated. Where do I find another violinist? I think I'm gonna clone myself. Well, well, well. So the next one, this is a Christmas carol that we know as a bell carol or Ukrainian bell carol, but it has much more to it than just being a bell carol. I have this, the few notes here because I didn't have time to memorize it all. So originally it was called Shedry Вечер. That's actually sounding more Russian than Ukrainian. I do speak Russian, I don't speak Ukrainian. So, but they're, relatively similar. And Shedry Вечер in both languages will mean bountiful evening. And that's New Year's Eve. A little swallow, the song was originally called Little Swallow, comes into the house and sings of bounty and of wealth and happiness. It was arranged in 1916 by a man named Mykola Leontovich. In 1921, a Ukrainian choir sang it in the Carnegie Hall, and this is when there was a new arrangement done on that song that was called the Bell Carol. I don't know, maybe I should read some of the words for you, the original words, not the ones that you know. This is a translation that I'm reading. It says, "A little swallow flew into the household and started to twitter. to summon the master. Come out, O master of the household. Look at the sheep pen. If you know, the sheep pen is like a little construction for the animals. Yeah, it's spelled P-A-N like a pan, but it just is like a little area for animals outside to stay. So look at the sheep pen. There the ewes have yeaned and the lambkins have been born. Your goods, meaning your livestock, are great. You will have a lot of money by selling them. If not money, then chaff from the grain you will harvest. You have a dark eyebrowed, which means beautiful, wife. Shedrick, which means bountiful, Shedrivka, a little swallow flew. How is that? The melody is also based on this what we call in music ostinato line. Ta 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 ta. It keeps going when there is a parallel melody. Yeah, really ta 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 ta. That's not a melody, it's just like a repeating figure. Yeah, so it's very old Ukrainian tune, again, that we know today as the bell carol. Now, how about some Mozart? Here's a piece called Rondo. R-O-N-D-O means round in Italian, because you'll hear the same melody coming back over and over a few times. It's a little different every time it comes back. Once in a low register, once in a high register, once in major, once in minor, but you can recognize it. Here's a little piece, again, by very young Mozart. So a couple of things about how Christmas is celebrated in other countries. I don't know if this is true. I heard that in Germany, in some places, you hide a little Christmas ornament in form of a pickle somewhere in the tree, and in the morning, one of the children will find that pickle, and then he or she will get an extra treat. Glad that worked in Germany. I know that wouldn't work in my country, in Armenia, where I come from. we would have probably destroyed the tree before finding the pickle, myself and my two siblings. Armenia. What is my country known for Christmas? Well, we celebrate Christmas on January the 5th, and it's not the type of celebration we have here. It's actually just really like a religious holiday. You know, if you're celebrating, you just go to church. Yeah, there may be some food left from like the I don't know the leftovers from New Year's Eve maybe, but it's basically just a religious holiday. Why January 5th? Gosh, a long story. A long story. There's so many different days for Christmas, right? Um, I won't go into it. There are a lot of dates, you know, December 24th, January 5th to 6th is Armenian, January 6th to 7th is the Orthodox. I think Coptic Christmas is even later. Um, we celebrated the New Year's Eve with a lot of, you know, festivities, a lot of food and relatives and everything else. And this is because I was born in Armenia when it was part of USSR, the Soviet Union. Yeah, and then religious holidays were not popular there throughout this, 60, 70 years that we were part of USSR. So New Year's Eve was the thing. Strangely, what comes to my mind when I think of New Year's is tangerines. We didn't have the luxury of living in a country where you could get any type of fruit anytime you wanted to. So this was available only starting early December and until end of January. You could only get tangerines then. Most of them would come from the country up north, Georgia. It's very mountainous country, but they have a lot of, very, I guess, the mountainous areas where it's a little warmer because of geysers, like natural gas and stuff like that. So it's relatively warmer, and citruses grow. And also they're close to the Black Sea. That's also another warmer area. So they would come from there in these few months. And it may sound lame, but my happiest thing about New Year's was like there's a lot of tangerines. You can have tangerine anytime you want in the year. There we are in America. You can have a tangerine anytime we want. I'm probably going to just eat this right after the program. Well, thank you very much for being with me throughout this program. It was a great pleasure for me to play for you. Hopefully next year this time, you will see me in person performing a similar program. I'm going to close the program with one of my absolute favorite holiday pieces that I play not just in a holiday, but throughout the whole year. I love the piece. It's a Scottish song on the poetry by Robert Burns, the Scottish national poet. Let's end the performance with Auld Lang Syne. I hope I pronounced it right.
just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas